Hi, everybody. All right, so I know I told you guys that I wasn't going to be here today, so I thought it'd be a good idea for me to record reading Stella Diaz. All right, so today we're going to read chapter 20, and just like usual, you guys are going to chat about what happened after I'm done reading, okay? And then, yeah, at the end of my video, I'm going to, explain to you guys what you're going to be doing with your task today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get started with chapter 20. Chapter 20. Nick acts normal the day of the beach cleanup and doesn't mention anything to me about being forced to come. We ride the metro with Jason to Lake Michigan. When we arrive, the beach is filled with strangers, young and old, ready to help. I never knew so many people cared. Whoa, it's busy, says Jason. At the beach, I get excited when I see Kristen, Logan, Miss Susan, and Mr. Kyle. Then I spy Marielle. I'm glad she came, but it definitely means I'm going to have to try harder today to win her over. Welcome, everyone, says Mr. Kyle with a bullhorn. Thank you for coming to our beach cleanup. We do this a few times a year, and we post the dates online, says Miss Susan, leaning over to speak into Mr. Kyle's horn. Mr. Kyle pauses and resumes speaking. While Lake Michigan isn't an ocean, this lake is just as important to us. Not only is it a majestic body of water to look at, but this lake is also home to over 3,000 plant and animal species, not to mention 40 million people. This water right next to us eventually ends up in our beloved oceans through the rivers and streams. If we want to keep our oceans clean, we've got to start right at home. I gasp. It's amazing how all the water on Earth is connected. Each body of water affects the other. Now I have thick gloves, paper bags, and sticks for everyone to pick up the litter. So if you're ready, come on up. As we pick up the trash, Nick goes off with Jason, leaving me with my new club members. The majority of what we find is just plastic bottles, plastic cans, and food wrappers. A fish Occasionally, we find something weird like a stuffed toy or t-shirt. A toy I understand. Kids leave toys behind all the time. They must have been sad, but who leaves us a t-shirt? While we pick up the random trash, Logan brings up what he'd like to do with the club. I want to raise so much money just like my cousin Mary. She raised money to save the sea otters all by herself. Although I'm pretty impressed by Logan's cousin, I have a hard time listening to him. That's because I noticed Nick talking to a couple of older girls with Jason. He points over at me and rolls his eyes. I overhear him say, I'm here because of my annoying little sister. She always drags me to stuff like this. It hurts more than a bee sting. The way he's saying it makes it seem like I'm just a pest. Thankfully, Marielle starts talking. I've been thinking, what's the name of the club? I look down. I can't believe I hadn't considered a name. That's like step one of forming a club. Every club has a good name, she says. I turn a little roja. I hope that everyone doesn't think I'm not prepared enough, especially Marielle. The Ocean Crusaders, I suggest. Marielle shrugs. That's not catchy enough. I look from side to side frantically. I cover my mouth with my hand and take a secret deep breath. With a clear hand, I've got it. With a clear head, I've got it. I remember that Jacques Cousteau started a group with his friends Felipe and Frederick called the Sea Musketeers. Maybe that could be the name of our group. I blurt out, the Sea Musketeers. I like it, says Kristen, flashing her braces at me. Logan nods. Well, I think it's a contender. We should vote at our first meeting. When is that going to be? Asked Marielle. I gulp. I hadn't planned that far. Quickly, I reply, let's have our first meeting next weekend at my place. I'll have to check with my mom first, but I think it should be okay. We collect trash for the rest of the morning. Mr. Kyle said it was the largest group they have ever had on a beach cleanup day. It's awesome to know that we did something big today, together. After we're done volunteering and Jason goes home, I walk alone with Nick. I feel exhausted from being in the sun all morning long, and now that it's the afternoon, it's only getting hotter. I really could go for ice cream, but I don't feel like suggesting fun things to do with Nick right now, especially after what he said about me. Why are you so quiet? He says, messing with my curls. No reason, I reply, not looking at him. I didn't have the words to tell him. He has never made fun of me in front of other people before. It hurts even more because I think my big brother is pretty awesome most of the time. He shrugs. I had a great time. I met a girl who's going to be in my high school next year. He looks a little lovesick. But I thought you said girls were gross. Just you, he replies. I cross my arms. We walk the rest of the way home in silence. All right. So make sure you guys all discuss, what happened in the chapter after my video. Okay, you can pause the video now, but I'm about to now explain what you have to do for chapter 20's task today. All right. So, if you guys have a chance, to talk about what happened and you finish during class, then I'd like you guys to work on this for the rest of class. If you don't finish, I'd like you guys to do it for homework. Okay. So the task for today has to do with comparing and contrasting Stella's beach cleanup with the cleanup that we did outside of Livingston School. So I want you guys to think about, your experience with the school cleanup. Maybe some things that you might have found, maybe some things that you might have felt. You know, why were you, cleaning up Livingston School? And then I want you to think of Stella's experience at the beach cleanup, some things that she might have found. How did she feel? Who was there? Why were they doing that? Okay. And the thing with comparing and contrasting, guys, is you're finding the similarities and the differences. So if there are things that are similar, you're going to put them in the middle column, the gray one. Okay. So anything that you found that was similar between the Livingston cleanup and Stella's cleanup, okay, you'll write the similarities, something that was the same in the middle. Okay. On the outside, okay, over here in the left column, you'll put something that was different about Livingston's school cleanup here, and then something that was different about Stella's beach cleanup over here. Okay, the things that are the same, you would put in the middle, and the things that are different, you would put on either side. All right, so once you guys are done talking about, what happened during, chapter 20 today, I want you guys to work on this for the rest of class. And if you finish, great, you don't have any homework. If you do not finish, you need to finish this for homework, okay? All right, guys, have an awesome day. I will hopefully see you in a few days. Bye.